And today we're going to talk about chapters 4 to 6 in The View from Saturday by E.L. Konigsberg. And you can see that it won a Newbery Medal, so it's just a really amazing book. And so E.L. Konigsberg has also won another Newbery Medal, and that is from the Mixed Up Files of Mrs. Basil E. Frankweiler. It's an amazing book too, and I think I made a book club about that. I'm gonna have to recheck though, but even if I did not make that, it's just a really amazing book, and I recommend reading that book too. And so yeah, E.L. Konigsberg is a good author. Okay, anyway, chapter 4. So, now we're gonna, replay the events, okay, of Mrs. Alinsky. And so the O in Alinsky was shaky. What did that mean? And when you are nervous, then how do you act? What do you do so that people sort of know that you are nervous? Like Mrs. Alinsky, O was very shaky. What about you? Okay, now, so, Hamilton Knapp, he just targeted out the teacher immediately, right? Do you think that if he happened with any other teacher, he would have been scolded? But why didn't Mrs. Alinsky couldn't really scold Hamilton? Because Hamilton wasn't really saying anything bad, even though he was doing that on purpose, but he wasn't actually doing anything bad, right? So, well, it embarrassed somebody, but really wasn't anything technically bad, so there really was nothing to really talk about, right? So yeah. But anyway, so do you think that 6th graders change from this time to this time? Do you think that they change, or do you think it's only in Mrs. Alinsky's imagination? What do you think? Do you think that the Epiphany team is going to win this round and just beat the other school? What do you think is going to happen? Okay, now also Epiphany is a really interesting town, the name. And so I'm not going to say anything, but look at a dictionary or just Google Epiphany and see what comes up, okay? Okay, now I hope that you Googled it up, or at least saw a dictionary, and now you know, right? And so how did the word epiphany really connects with the story? What do you think? Now, and so, do you think that this was a coincidence or not? It wasn't a coincidence. E.L. Konigsberg planned it out to that exact little detail, right? That's why I like her writing so much. Okay, now, so let's look at, now the souls are concentrated on a new amazing project, And so how did that the monkey who can balance on any of his 4 limbs, relate to Mrs. Alinsky? And so, do you think that Mrs. Alinsky have multiple feet? And I don't mean physically, but mentally, Do you think that she has some other feet that she can stand up on? And do you think that you are really standing on your feet? Not your physical feet, but really mentally, do you think that you're standing, or Mrs. Alinsky, are you wilting and sitting and not having a good time as standing? Okay. And so how do you think that just the souls can help the Mrs. Alinsky stand on her front feet? by maybe just being good people to her, just being so nice and kind, and maybe that's gonna really help. Did you ever think of Posh and Tip as acronyms? I was like, Tip, that's an acronym? I didn't know that. And now we're going to go into Julian's point of view, and it is Julian narrates when Ginger played Annie Sandy. That's going to be really interesting, right? Now let's just dive right in. Here, do you think that Ginger can be the who was it? I think it was Sandy, right? Yeah, Sandy. Do you think that Ginger can be Sandy? Like, do you think he's gonna? And do you really agree that Ginger is a genius? And why is she such a genius? Probably because Nadia spends so much time with her, right? And do you think that Ginger could probably play Sandy? Definitely, right? And so, so Julian points out that everyone asks, "Are you ready for the holidays?" And then afterward, "How are your holidays?" But then in the holidays themselves, nobody asks about them. Is that true? Actually, that is true. Surprising, but yeah, that's true. Then again, yeah, that's true. Okay, now do you think that, really Julian heard of the holiday season before? I don't think so, right? And without the holiday season, how would your life be? Pretty miserable. All those amazing holidays, flush down the toilet bowl, sob. I don't know why. I don't want that. So I like the holidays a lot. It's just fun anyway, just to celebrate and have fun. Now, why do you think that people are calling it the cattle call when they're actually calling for dogs? Do you think that there's anything interesting about that? I have no idea personally. Yeah, but anyway, so the thing is, Nadia keeps on asking Noah, "Do you have a dog?" And he always says, "No, but," like that. Did you think that was funny or not? So Julian actually says that he begins to sort of enjoy the bickering between Nadia and Noah. And even Noah and Nadia sort of are comfortable with it, right? And actually like it a little, enjoy it. Why would this sort of bickering be enjoyable? Probably because, it's not real fighting. It's just some small bickering. That just makes it a little funny, right? Okay. And so, now, do you think that Ginger really is a genius again? Do you think that, Arnold is going to, actually push Annie over, or do you think that's not going to happen? What do you think? Now, how well do you think that, how do you think that Ginger is going to do in the real play? Well, I think that she's going to do great, right? Okay, now, so, so Mrs. Reynolds asked how Lucas was, and that sort of upset Ethan, right? And so, do you think that anybody will actually stop asking about Ethan, or not Ethan, will stop asking about Lucas, or do you think it's gonna go on for the rest of Ethan's life? Well, I'm pretty sure that Ethan's like when he's in college or something, he won't be that strong, But as for being like middle school, maybe high school, I don't think he can really avoid that. Unless he does something amazing. But no pressure, I just mean maybe. Okay, now, so, the thing is, one thing I wanted to talk about was, do you think that Julian's, the Sillington house is ready for their first customers, the Dynasties? And just from the description, like, would you like to stay there? Definitely, I would like to stay there, definitely. Now, so they were all in buses, right? And then some people were talking, you know? And so who are talking? Well, just the bad guys, you know? You know who the bad guys are? I know who the bad guys are. Almost everybody knows who the bad guys are, right? And so, like, for example, Ham. And so Ham is not the best person. And of course, he's planning about tranquilizers and stuff like that. And of course, is that good? No. And so, do you think that Ham is actually going to sabotage everything and like it's going to be all wrong? What do you think is going to happen? Okay, but anyway, so, now, do you think that Ham is going to actually pull this off and get those, and all those tranquilizers? And do you think that it could even work? Now, so, if Julian doesn't do anything about it, then it will, the plan will actually work, which is, of course, not good. And so, if you had been Julian, what would you have done? Me? Just palm those trees. That was what I would do. Same as the real well, I just forgot the name. Oh yes, Julian would do. Now anyway, so did you think that Julian was gonna get caught? And if he was caught, then like do you think that he would get into so much trouble, or do you think it would be just small? What do you think? So Julian doesn't really tell us what decision he did, in the end at that moment. So what did you think it was? I think that my guess was that he removed the trees, and I was actually right. Okay, now, would you want to, after saying to someone else, break a leg, right? And so, like, break a leg. Would you like someone telling you that, even if you know it was just like good luck? Not me. I mean, like, break a leg? It's just like I've sprained an ankle before, 2 times actually, and it hurt a lot. I mean, just break a leg? No, thank you. So no, I would not like it, but yeah. Now, so is the play going good in your opinion? Yeah, And then, so some people were saying, arf, arf, arf. Who did you think that was? But even before you knew who it was. Hamilton Knapp, of course. Hamilton Knapp is just the most annoying guy in the world. Now, so, do you think that the school is being a very good audience? Like, do you think that Miss Reynolds should be angry at everybody, or do you think that it's just and angry at the troublemakers? What do you think? Well, I mean, like, I'd be a little annoyed at everybody, but I would understand and try to get the troublemakers. So now, do you think that everybody's connected somehow, right? And even Mrs. Alinsky, See, look. So, Ethan and Nadia have the same grandparents now. Noah was their best man's wedding, and now Mrs. Alinsky is Margaret Draper's friend. Connected, right? Was this a coincidence? Of course not. How, if you have an E.L. Konigsberg, like, how hard would you have thought to come up with this? Pretty hard, so I have to give her a lot of credit. Now we learned that the drug treats were in Julian's pocket. Did you think that was the right decision to just make those, to, have those treats somewhere, so that even Michael's dog wouldn't, Arnold wouldn't get, drugged? What do you think? I think that it was just good, that Michael's dog did not get drugged. Arnold the dog. Now, the thing is, Julian like pulls 2 doggy treats from who was it? I guess Miss Hamilton Knapp's head, right? And when Hamilton Knapp saw those, how do you think that he felt? And do you think that Dr. Knapp is ever gonna find out? I think so. And on a scale to 1 to 10, how much trouble do you think that Hamilton Knapp will be in? And also, finally, do you think that Hamilton Knapp, when he was looking at this show, and Arnold was not, and he was, and when I'm pretty sure that he's gonna hear about the show, and and with Ginger going perfectly fine, right? How do you think that he's gonna feel? Okay, now I also wanted to talk about Hamilton when Julie was like, "Your son's got something growing out of his head," So how do you think that you felt there? And you can actually just use a simile, please. Okay, now chapter 5. So, do you think that Mrs. Alinsky should have just held a contest to get everything fair and square? And because she didn't do anything like that, do you think that do you think that her team is going to be okay and actually win? Okay, now, well, I just said okay again. Now, so, Mrs. Alinsky was watching everybody, right? And she even thought of Hamilton Knapp. If Mrs. Alinsky had chosen Hamilton Knapp, do you think that, the Souls would have had their winning streak? No, right? They would not have it. Why? In your opinion, why? Okay, so now, do you think that Mrs. Alinsky knew that Ham Knapp had written cripple? What do you think? Now, if you had been Mrs. Alinsky and you knew that Hamilton Knapp had started, what would have been his punishment? Me? To say sorry and apologize on the stage in front of everybody. Mwahaha. And then after that, give him extra homework for a month, which will be so good. I would love being a teacher because I had the power to do that. Not that I would spend my power evilly. I'm just saying, at times. Why? If you had been Mrs. Alinsky, would you have also looked at Julian Singh? I would have. I would be like, yeah, Julian Singh is a pretty good person. Yeah, I think that I might choose him. I would also do Julian Singh too. But for right now, Mrs. Alinsky's not doing that. Mrs. Alinsky was sort of really jealous. And everybody was hugging and just having a really awesome time, right? Do you understand why Mrs. Alinsky would be jealous? And would you be also jealous then? And what are a few things that, in your opinion, you do not have and you want? And sometimes when you see that, you're really jealous. And this can be actually things like the newest phone, or maybe iPad, or maybe the newest computer just came out. I'm not really good at technology. Didn't really check up, but I heard that the flip phone came out. Actually, maybe that came out a while ago. Now, I don't remember. Now, what I wanted to talk about was, why do you think that when all the 4 souls looked at Mrs. Alinsky, why didn't that she chose those 4 kids? Why just looking? Why that? And so, what is the thing that you can get from this? Maybe choices, choices are mysterious, and they just come and this choice is mysterious. It doesn't really tell us why, and we have to guess that out. What do you think that E.L. Koningsberg had in mind when she wrote this? Why? But anyway, so do you think that Hamilton Knapp, he got kicked out, right? No Hamilton Knapp on the list anymore. Now only Julian Singh, Ethan Potter, Nadia Diamondstein, and of course Noah Gershom. Oh yeah, I'm really good at this. I actually remember the last names, which I'm terrible at mostly. Congratulations, Jaden. Okay, but anyway, so now I wanted to talk about this. So, when you just look at some people and you're like, those people are going to be on my team. Like, has that ever happened to you? Not to me. So what do you think happened to Mrs. Alinsky? Like, what do you think that she saw in Julian and everybody? Just this look. Why do you think that she chose them? Yeah, this is really complicated, you know? And we have guesses, but we will never fully know. But maybe it will be that, you know, they were all looking at her expectantly as if they knew, you know? And they just looked, okay. Even I'm having trouble with this, so, you know? And I will try to answer this question at the end, but I don't want to say anything because this answer can be anything, okay? Anything. And so you have to think about it. But yeah, it's sort of like an opinion question, so it can be anything really. Okay, now chapter 6. So, do you think that Tip, you know, so Julian said, you know, that Tip was rendered incorrect. Is that correct in your opinion? Like, is that real? What do you think? Now, so, yeah, really, what do you think here? And also, like, do you think that because of Julian, they're gonna lose a point? What do you think? So what I wanted to talk about was, you know, the souls were practicing you know, and so do you think that you can you answer this one? How many quarters are in $20? Okay, this one would be, you know, the thing is, like, when there's time, I just cannot say anything, but it's 80. Yeah. So now, what about all these questions? Would you ever be able to figure these out? It would be pretty hard for me, but I could figure it out. I trust myself. When they beat grade 7, like, how do you think that the grade 7 people felt when they got defeated? Probably just really embarrassed, right? Just like their face probably go really red. But you know, still, I thought that was pretty funny. Now, do you think that they're gonna beat all the other schools and they're gonna be the winners? What do you think? Because it will say in the end, but not right now, right? Now, do you think that Hamilton Knapp, right? He belched really loudly, and Mrs. Alinsky was like, "Hamilton Knapp, please come up." And so, what did you think that Mrs. Alinsky was gonna do? She asked Hamilton Knapp to teach, you know, everybody to belch. Now, could you just belch on command? I couldn't. Here's my best one. Okay, now it just looks like I'm getting choked. So, bleh. No, that's like I'm gonna throw up. No, that's just croaking. Okay, see, I cannot do it. But at times, if I ever belch, which I almost never do, and I always say excuse me, but try to, you know, not belch at any time. And like, do you think that Hamilton Knapp, how do you think that sort of Mrs. Alinsky knew without actually looking up that it was Hamilton Knapp? It's just because Hamilton Knapp is so obnoxious, like, you just know every troublemaker in the world. So, yeah, it will be easy. Now, so, do you think that Knightsbridge, right, the soul of the Knightsbridge, who do you think is gonna win here? The souls, of course, I know it. Now, so, you know, all the souls, you know, like, stuck out their feet and everything. So, do you think, you know, like, were you surprised how everybody in the soul sort of understood it, did everything like that? Like, were you surprised here? Me? I was definitely surprised. I was like, whoa, guys, you must have, like, telepathy or something. So, yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. And that just shows how good it is to be in a team, right? So now, lastly, I wanted to talk about the about some of the questions, okay? These are some hard questions, and do you think that you know do you think that you know some of the answers? You know, I'm not the best. But actually at the end, at least in my copy, like there's the answers to all the questions. It's actually really interesting. Like for example, the first question, you know that the person asked Noah, which was, what is the meaning of the word calligraphy and from what language does it derive? It's calligraphy actually derives from Greek, and it means beautiful writing. So there you go, and check all those out. But for right now, just read the whole book. But yeah, it's interesting. And maybe you'll know some things from history. You never know. But yeah, you might be able to answer those questions, or you might be like, oh yeah, that, and you just didn't remember at the time. It could be anything. Okay guys, now, I don't know why, but time just flew by. Maybe there was like a bird, and it just flew time away. But already, we are finished. I hope that you had an amazing time with me. I had an amazing time with you guys. Yeah, and so I hope that you guys also had an amazing time with me. Now, a few last questions. What was your favorite part in the chapters that we reviewed, which were chapters 4 to 6? And you guys, you know what I'm gonna say. I can never choose. Now, what was your favorite part in the whole book that we read so far, all the way to 6? Well, all those stories were so interesting. I can't choose one, but I liked all of them. But you know, and yeah, I liked all of the stories. Yeah, all of them is my favorite. Now, how did you like the book? You know, I'm always gonna say I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. So. Yeah, I never do a book that I don't like or love. And so, I hope that you enjoyed this book, because I love this book. I've read this book now, I've completed the book, and I was like, oh my, you know, E.L. Konigsberg is amazing. So yeah, I thought that she was pretty good. Now, what was your favorite character and your least favorite character? Oh no. But I'll have to say my favorite character was probably Julian. And my least favorite character was Hamilton Knapp. Now, finally, what do you predict is going to happen next? Do you think that the Souls are going to win the whole competition? And how do you think that the competition with Knightsbridge is going to go? Do you think that the Souls, do you think that Mrs. Alinsky is actually going to get to stand on her feet? And finally, when this book ends, and also, I have a question. Have you figured out the View from Saturday, the title? Well, I'm not going to tell you. You have smarts, I know it. Probably this too. I actually explained this last time, but you might have forgotten. Or maybe I'm just mistaking myself. That might be the case. But try to figure out the cover here. At least for me, it's this, and I'm pretty sure it's this for you. But this and this. Even if it's not yours, try to figure this out because it's really relevant. And the really cool thing is, the cover illustration was actually by E.L. Konigsberg. She actually did it. She actually drew this, which is really cool because most times, like, the cover illustration is by some other person. And yeah, it was copyright 1996, so that was a long time ago. But anyway, yeah, I just wanted to tell you that. Anyway, I hope that you check out a lot of other Newbery Medal winning books like this. There's From the Mixed Up Files of Mrs. Basil E. Frankweiler, also by E.L. Konigsberg. Then there's Mrs. Frisby and the Wrath of Nymph, always an amazing book. Then there's also Hatchet. And then a million others that I haven't read, but I want to all read. Like, here's one I've never read, okay? And it is called The King of the Wind, or The Great King, or Hetty, Her First 100 Years. All those I do not know. But I am actually going to read them. They're on my reading list, all of them. And now also, E.L. Konigsberg herself written these many books. Yeah, she's a genius. She made so much books. So hope that you check all those out. Again, I hope that you had an amazing time with me. Have a great rest of your day or night, because I also might be fair tonight. Now, yeah, just go out there and be amazing. Just keep on reading this amazing book and all the other books in the universe. Yeah, just keep on reading, okay? And bye! I hope that you enjoyed The View from Saturday, chapters 4 to 6. Be awesome and be colorful and just be outstanding, because I know that you can just do it.